Here's an example in which they're having us consider a division problem, 155 divided by 31, and they're asking us, which interpretation do you think would be easier to use if you needed to draw a picture? Okay, so they're saying, would it be partitioning in equal subsets or repeated subtraction? That's the main two. Those are the main two ways we think about division in real life. Okay, so how do you know which answer they want here? Well, if you're going to draw a picture of this, then if you're going to do it the equal sets way, then you're going to need 31 sets. If you're going to do it repeated subtraction, then you're going to need to subtract 31 for each. So you tell me, does that make sense? Which ones, would it be easier to draw 31 sets, or would it be easier to subtract 31 for each? Like if I took the 155 and I subtracted 31, how many times would I need to subtract 31? I think it'd be about 5 times, wouldn't it? That would use up the whole 155 about 5 times. So that's only 5 times. So which is easier? Repeated subtraction on this one. Do you see that? So let me help you this again. So now they're going to mix it up. You might get the other kind. Let me try. If they had said 155 divided by 5, what would have been easier is to do the groups, because 5 groups is easier than subtracting 5 each time, isn't it? Because it would take you a long time. So here's how you know the answer to the question. You look at the second number and you ask yourself, is it easier to subtract that number every time? Or is it easier to make that many groups? So if they give you 31, you don't want to make 31 groups. You want to subtract the 31 every time. That's quicker. That would only take 5 times. If they give you 5, you'd rather have 5 groups. 5 groups aren't bad. If you subtracted 5 each time, that'd take forever. So this one would be easier with the groups. The subsets, you know what I mean by, I'm calling them groups, but, equal subsets. This would be easier, right? To have 5 sets, right? 5 groups, 5 sets. So look at the second number and ask yourself, would it be easier to have that many subsets or to subtract that number every time? So with 31, it's easier to subtract that number every time. So repeated subtraction. If they'd given me 5, it would be easier to make 5 groups than to subtract 5 every time. That's how we answer that question.